Hi everyone, I'm Cerise.
I'm Joe.
And today we have a question for you. How did I get here?
How did I get here?
Wait,
What's going
where
on?
am I?
How did this happen? How did I get here?
Why do I feel this way? And how did I come to feel this way?
What am I even doing? Why?
How did I become this person?
What is this? What is this?
How did you get here?
What is all of this? How did you get
What are you doing here?
What are you even doing? What are you?
Why is this happening? Why is this happening to me?
What is it? What is all of this? What is the meaning of all of this?
What is the meaning of this?
Have you ever asked yourself any variation of those questions? Because if you have, great, we're going to talk about it. If not, then you should probably
anyway,
just listen and watch anyway. You'll learn something. You'll learn something.
All kinds of things.
So a lot of times we ask ourselves that question from a starting point of, how did I get here? Like you wake up and you realize that your life has kind of been happening to you, and you realize you're in a kind of situation where it seems like you weren't even present when the decisions were made to put you here in this exact situation. So that question comes up with that kind of a tone to it. It's like, how did I get here? I could have sworn I was like 12 years old, like a moment ago, and now
I was gonna grow up to be an astronaut.
I have debt and I
working at McDonald's.
Got liver problems and I'm losing my hair. I was just watching cartoons and how did I, what? So that feeling of where have I been? Who's been making these decisions? How did I get here? Is in a way appropriate. Because you have to look at, have you actually been present in the multiple decisions that are made just in the space of a day, let alone a week, a month, or years? Just in the space of a day, how many actual living actions and decisions are you really aware of?
Let's define decision, shall we? A decision is not just making a choice to do something like, oh, I want to do that, I'm going to do that tomorrow. A decision is an action, it's a thought, it's a word spoken, it's almost like a statement of who I am. So we're not talking about just the big decisions that you consciously make, we're talking about all of the little moments in between, all of the little moments that define who you are, because those are the moments where you're actually living in a specific way that's going to have specific effects, specific results, specific outcomes based on who you are in those moments. How have you been living? What thoughts have you been creating and participating in within you that are creating what feelings, what experiences, what emotions within you that are creating who you are today?
Yeah, and it's really easy to kind of let these things slip. It's all those little things sometimes that we allow to kind of run on autopilot. The way that we wake up in the morning, what are the first thoughts that enter our heads? Because that's a decision. We, from the very moment we get up out of bed, have the decision to make of who am I in this moment and how am I going to approach the rest of this day? And further than that, every breath that you take, every thought that comes up in your head, that's also a decision. It's not about what you say or don't say. It's about who are you in relation to the thoughts that do come up. Do you have the thought come up and kind of participate in it and it's okay because you keep it to yourself and doesn't hurt anybody? Or do you look at the thoughts that come up and question, what are these thoughts showing me? Why am I having these thoughts? Who am I in relation to these thoughts? And what will I decide, if anything, about them? All of these things are moments of decision that accumulate into creating who you are and where you are right here and right now. And another fascinating thing is, a lot of times the things that we're creating in our lives, the kinds of people we have around us, the kind of jobs we have, the kinds of relationships we have, All of those things are manifested consequences based on decisions we've made years ago that we didn't make within awareness.
Decisions that we did make, but we didn't know that that's what was happening. We didn't know that by living in that way and by thinking in that way and by speaking in that way, that we were actually creating a sequence of events that would lead us to a particular moment, where in that moment you go, wait, how did this happen? Why is life doing this to me? Why is this happening to me?
I didn't get a memo about this. Nobody asked me for this. I didn't give permission for this. Well, actually, you gave permission in all of those times where, for example, if you're asking yourself, why am I having a relationship that feels like this? Why does this relationship feel this way? Well, you have to look at all of the moments that have built up even before you started your current relationship. All of the times in your life where you told yourself you're not good enough, all the times in your life where you feared that your partner would cheat on you, all the times where you would project things onto your partner or to yourself, all of those little things that have happened that you kind of let slip, well, they didn't just disappear. They've been accumulating. And eventually it hits a point of, oh my God, how could this have happened? I have no idea what created any of this. Oh my God, and you feel like such a victim. But really, when you slow down, you can actually trace down to the thought sometimes, the specific thoughts, how you've created your situation.
Joe, why don't you tell your little relationship story? I think that's a good story to tell.
A lot of my time in this 30 so odd years of life on this planet, I participated in a particular kind of thought having to do with my relationship to myself, really, where from the very beginning, from childhood, I had negative self-image and had points of feeling insecure and not knowing how to connect with people and always needing validation and acceptance from other people. And I would constantly kind of cope with it and just sit with it and just deal with it. And what would happen is my relationships would start reflecting that. My relationships started to unfold in such a way where the same patterns and same issues, same insecurities would always come up. I would always go to this point within myself of, this isn't going to work. I'm not good enough for this person. This person needs something else, and they're going to eventually leave me because I'm not what they need. And I start to close myself off and start to withdraw and start to do all kinds of things that actually make it very difficult to be with me. So that is a kind of example of how we actually, through the decisions, and again here, my decisions were all of the points where insecurities would come up, self-judgments would come up, and I wouldn't stop them. I wouldn't investigate them. I wouldn't, push myself through them, but I would kind of just accumulate and accumulate. So this leads me to what? The realization that pretty much all of my deep personal relationships have had this singular unifying theme, which is that all of my partners have gotten together through the years and decided amongst themselves to strategically plan out exactly the same relationship to play out with me. And I'm not sure how they're doing this, but it's remarkable how they've gotten everything so perfect. Like every time, all of my partners would have like the same things that would happen, and I would go through the same emotions and the same reactions. So I'm pretty convinced that the problem is not myself, but a coordinated effort on behalf of a secret society of women who have decided to be intimate partners with me throughout my life.
So you don't see the fact that you're the common denominator in all of those relationships?
That's what they want me to think.
How about we come back to this at some point in the future? The question becomes, okay, now that I'm starting to look at how I've been actually creating my life. How have I been the active participant in creating every single thing that I've experienced and lived up until this point? What do I do about it? How do I change this way that I've been living so that I stop feeling like, oh my God, how did this happen to me? Well, it starts off with what seems like a pretty simple answer, which is being aware, deliberate awareness of who you are in every moment, of what thoughts you're having, of what words you're speaking, of what actions you're living, because those are your decisions, and those are the things that are going to build up and create your life. So at the end of the day, what you want to be developing for yourself is being the directive principle, being the director, the creator, the one in charge of every aspect of you, in order for you to create your life in awareness in the way that you want it, rather than doing it in this kind of state of ignorance and then feeling like, how did this happen to me?
Also, to not lose yourself in moments of decision, big or small, where you're influenced by your emotions, your fears, your desires, because a lot of times when you slip into that, you lose what? Your awareness, your stability, your core.
Your directive principle.
And things start to be decided within that kind of state. Whether you're in a state of depression or anger, frustration, even happiness sometimes can be a blinding thing. So in order to make sure that you don't lose yourself, apply the tools of writing, self-awareness, breath, reviewing the end of your day and checking in and seeing, hey, where have I been today? Did I really want to go there? And if not, what moved me? And start rewinding that and taking your life back into your hands so you don't end up having to ask the question, how did I get here?
So, if you enjoy our videos, please remember to like, share and subscribe, as well as check out our profile on Patreon, where you can support us by becoming a patron and get rewards. Really, really awesome rewards that will change your life in every possible way.
Guaranteed.
Totally guaranteed. 100%
Done
promise.
deal.
We swear. Pinky promise. Here we go. It's happening. And obviously the change, that guarantee comes from how awesome our videos are. You know, obviously.
You owe it to yourself to watch and share. I mean, there's nothing else we can do for you at this point. How awesome do you need us to be? I mean,
maybe we need to be more awesome though. Maybe we're.
How did I get here?
What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Why are people watching me?
Why am I doing these videos?
This is weird.
Am I Chinese?
I feel like I have no control over my life.
I think I'm Chinese.
Where am I? How did I get here? Who are you?
Stranger